All right. Well, I want to go talk briefly about some of what's going on in Monsterland. So normally what I do is I like to start at the statistics page. This is by Rafalski. And so it's the Steam Monster stats and what we're looking at. So we had a season end, and that got us to that's 36. We were just underneath the all-time high. But that said, this is kind of a weird one because it was over more than one day. So it wasn't quite as clean as what it could have been. You'll notice what it really ought to be is like these two numbers versus these two numbers because this one, like I said, it fell at an odd time for the season end compared to that. So it kind of branched across a couple days. But very healthy numbers there. We're seeing a decent amount of games still being played. The cutoff is usually pretty sharp. So there's 36 and there's 23. And if I go do 23 divided by 36, and you get 63. So normally it's like a third of the games get played, but here we're going from 33 down to 28. So 28 divided by 33, and we get to 84. So yeah, we had a drop, but that drop is like half the size of what it normally is. So that to me is the addition of guilds. I think that's helping to keep people here. And we see that in this next chart too. So here's the all-time high, and that's 2,370 players. And here, off a season-ending day, we're at 2,305. So they're not playing quite as many games, and that makes sense. It's not the end of the season, but we have just shy. I guess this is the one, two. This is the third highest in company history, and it's not even on a season end. It's just in the middle of the season. So that looks really healthy to me. Um, that I don't really follow. I do think, for like the business, checking this chart is actually pretty important. And you can see we've had a couple big days. So here's one of our big purchases, but it wasn't unique to that. We've had a lot that are for this like 500 to 1500 range, and then we've had a couple of these days, 5500 here, 5000 there, 4000, 4600 here. Those have been some good days. So that keeps the company rolling. That makes sure that we have enough money to hire people and to keep growing our game and bring out a mobile app and bring out all this other stuff and get an expansion out. So I'm excited to see those values going. Potions purchased. Actually, today this is those are quests. Mystery potion. I mean this was a great day to buy a mystery potion because there were so few people that bought one. Delegate cards. Oh, this is probably me. Although Neil is going to be in there somewhere too. I made a whole bunch of these Herons accounts, so I'm sure that hundreds and hundreds of those are me. Quest finished. When it's over 100%, it's hard to know what that is. I think that's people coming back after not having completed their quest before and completing them. So although here it's sitting right at 100%, but anything that's up by 100 or more is a good thing. Here's a crap ton of combines. Like I said, this is probably me. I guess it's not all me, but yeah, that's a lot of combining that's happening here. 2006 combines, and then we saw at the end of the season a lot of reward combines, and we saw a lot of the beta combines, and then here's the cards burnt. 7,494. That's a ton. 2,075. But we're even seeing that promos burned. You don't see a lot of promos getting burned. You get some beta burns. So and here again, we're seeing even off season end, we're seeing a lot of spike for the cards burned. So that's pretty good. The market stuff I don't pay too much attention to in detail, but I do like to look at the overall volume. And let's see how we're doing. So this looks okay. We're a fifth of the way in, so we should be hitting 360,000. Which I mean, if we keep the same volume, we're gonna surpass even our highest month ever. So that volume looks great. And so let's go look at, hopefully there's nothing shady on my Discord, but let's go, here, I'll switch it over here, bring this thing over there, and then we'll go into the, let's go see what we're seeing over here. All right. So now, oh, there it is. I didn't even have to type it. That's at 132. We're at 140, so that's pretty close. We're sitting at all-time highs, so you can't ask for much more than that from a chart checking perspective. You like seeing all-time highs, and this is like, I mean, it's sharp, but this is still sort of gradual. You just see this nice steady increase. That's what you want to see. If it goes straight vertical, then that might be terrifying for the card holders. But this looks like a healthy push going up, and we just keep seeing more. 2 million, we're going to call it 2.7 million. So actually, I wasn't going to do this, but now let's go look at coin market cap. And if we go into coin market cap, we're going to have to go to see all. The thing that I'm going to look for here is how would Steam Monsters, if it was its own coin, how would it get ranked? So those are the 3.7 million, 3.5. So I don't know. It's still loading. We'll give this thing just a little second. And so we're in this range. I think we're here. So Steam Monsters on its current market cap would be 582, somewhere in there. So that's pretty awesome, or at least how we calculate it. I mean, maybe there's other ways, and we're not perfect, but I definitely like tracking and seeing where we're at. Yeah, so that's great. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about here? So PAX, I want to put a little FOMO out there. You guys know I do this little bit of FOMO. So we're underneath 209,000, and we've had a couple big orders come in, and yesterday was a really strong day. I think the 200,000 range will be done this week. I don't think that this thing will be around. And then I think once we hit under 200,000, there's going to be some next level FOMO, and then going from there. The Splinterlands account, I moved 10 million I moved 10 million dark energy crystals into here, and that's what we're going to start using for some tournament creation fees, or like the tournament creation and the tournament rewards pool. It's also deck is now coming into the account. So don't want small. Where's my Splinterlands? Here's Splinterlands. Okay, so there was over 1,000 Steam that had come in. I already bought a couple hundred Steam worth today. I figure I'm going to try to keep some Steam in the tank and then just start purchasing deck over time. But let's go look at tokens, and then the deck is going to be a little bit funky. It's hard to kind of watch this because we're seeing like the posts that are coming in. So who knows? That's not really a great way to track that, but. Anyways, we should be seeing. We'll see how long this 9.8 million lasts. Steam Monsters as a company has a little bit of dark energy crystals left above this, but if we're using it, then eventually we'll run out, and then we'll just have to buy. All the tournament prize pools that we do. We'll have to buy that in pure deck every single week, and that way we can distribute. But I don't know. That's kind of the plan. I don't know if you saw, here's in the market. Market's having a pretty good day. So 3,000 sales for $2,685. And I think it's not live yet, but it should be able to go. DEC will be one of the answers that are in here, Steam, TRX, and SPD. So you should be able to go get the dark energy crystal as a token to be used there. What else did I want to show? Events. I'm actually pretty excited. We're creeping up on the $50,000 mark. Maybe that will help us get some notice if we're able to go assign more than $50,000 out to our players. I bet that's pretty good. But then I wanted to get into Smolp. Smolp is a pretty fun account. I bought more cards, but this thing has been going up. That looks great to me. So I currently have $84,000 worth of cards sitting in here. If you're using bid prices, it's 50,000. If you're using market prices, if you're using deck, then it's 25 million. This is sort of interesting to go watch, but we can talk about that a little bit more. But I'm very interested in seeing how this keeps going. But this is the way that I've been tracking it. So whether or not that's the best way to track it or not, I don't know. But that's the way I've been doing it. But so let's go into my profile, and here's my profile. I feel great about how this is doing. Um, I really ought to start tracking this day by day. I think this is like 3 days, and it's not even a full 3 days. So I think I'm earning somewhere around, I don't know. I'm not paying close enough attention, but it's like, I don't, it's over 100 Steam per day. I mean, it has to be, right? Because my daily rental fee income is 28.30. So let's go take 28.30 times 365, and I'm over $10,000 in rental income. So that's pretty healthy. I'm not renting all of my cards. I just added a few more fairly expensive ones. Um, my Let me go. I gotta go do a little e-ping here. This is I feel pretty pimp. So I'm gonna go log in. Let's go log in here with Smelp, Steam Monsters Asset Leasing Program, and let's go. Oh no, this is gonna be on Tender Shepherd. So let's go over here, log out, log in, Tender Shepherd, log in, and okay, let's go show some cards. Let's go show my gold foil legendaries, and you guys can gaze at this Prince Ren. I had an unbelievable series of pulls. The I got three gold foil Prince Rens when I bought a bunch of packs the other day, and then I bought the fourth one from Meowgan. Um, and then I leveled them all up, and it's glorious. And what that enabled me to do is actually bring another. I had a max level Prince Ren that I had been using personally, but now I can just use the one that I had been using to go rent it. So let's go check out my collection, and let's go look at gold foil legendary, and let's do summoners. Um, Oh, Smalpus in here, but oh, I don't want the gold. So I just want these. So now I can view my cards, and I can see, okay, I got two of these that are going to be up for rent. I don't know. I guess people haven't figured out that there's more of these available. But if you haven't done this before, I'm going to go show you how. I click over here, that populates in the top right. So actually, this is a can I? No, no. This is all going to fail. You guys can't see this. If I click on a little stackable image, things will pop down. You guys can't see anything, so never mind. But um, but yeah, I guess the thing that I'm like part of what I'm checking is like, okay, let's go check my rental contracts, and you can see there's like a whole bunch of these people that are coming through and renting my cards. These are just the ones that are in the last day or so. Um, and it looks healthy, you know. I got a lot of the escrow payments coming through, a lot of daily fees. I added all these like penny cards on there. I wanted to make it pretty cheap for people that wanted to go rent, you know, decent level cards. That's a max level alpha Serpentine Soldier, and he costs a penny a day. So it ends up, and surprisingly, like, you know, I didn't want to go below 1 penny a day for the card, but that's also putting me at like a 10% return. So the people that are renting that, you know, it costs them nothing, but on a large scale, like I'm actually getting a decent amount of money for that, like a pretty sweet return on that investment. Um, okay, so you can see I got in escrow, there's 400 Steam sitting in there. SBD, there's a lot, and um, I don't know. All of this looks great to me. I mean, the thing that I'm really looking at is like, um, we sold 300,000 alpha packs. There have been just shy of 700,000 beta packs that went out to folks, um, and the cards. So Neil will talk about the flippening, and the flippening is when the value of the cards on average is higher than the cost of the packs. And if you are using potions, then that actually has already happened. Even Neil was saying, he was showing some data that even though he only got 3 gold foil legendaries, which was statistically below average, he was still up like a pretty substantial amount of money on his purchase. So, if that's happening in like the first 50,000 packs, okay, well that makes a lot of sense. There's just not a lot out there. If that's still available um, after we've been doing this as long as we have, and we're at like the near end of beta, like all of that is so bullish to me. We're sitting at 20 cent Steam, and we're still at the all-time high for Steam Monsters cards. So, um, I don't know. My guess is that you guys really like deck, you really like guilds. So let's go talk about those guilds real quick too. So, if you look, we got 50 guilds that have been created. The other thing that I've been noticing is just how full these guilds are. I mean, these things are chocked full of people. So pretty soon we're going to run out of guild space. So people are going to have to go level up their guilds, or they're going to have to create new guilds because there's no more room. There's no more place to put people. So I'm excited for that. I think having more of these guilds available is great as a deck sync, and it's great to sort of it's great for the ecosystem to have people play the game and try to figure out where their cards are going to be. Uh, One, okay. So what else have I got? The got the number of people. So I joined Immortal Gods. I'm pretty excited about this. Let's go check out the guild hole. And here's kind of this deck chart. So you can see um, you gotta keep adding deck, and it's additive. So the total is 10,000, 30,000, 60,000, 110, 210. 210, 460, 960, 2 million, 2.6 something million. I mean, it's a lot of deck that has to go into this in order to go get it to the max level. And you can see that the Quest Lodge. So this team has almost made it up to. Oh no, we made it into level 5, or made it to level 4. Um, and let's go look at this table over here. So you can see the number of quests. Quests are the number of daily quests that the group needs to finish. So 15, and then you have to do another 30, so the total is 45, plus another 60, so now the total is 105, plus another 100, now it's 205, and so on. So it's a lot of quests, and then at the end of every season, we're going to go see some of that go down as well. So, but you can see that there's a deck bonus when you're fighting. Which makes sense. I mean, if you're up at this level 10, you have to have a level 10 guild hall, so you have to have spent 2.6 million deck to even get there. Um, then there's also the shop discount. I was really debating around whether or not I even wanted my deck into any guild, and then I realized like, oh well, I spend so much time renting cards, and I personally use potions all the time. So getting a 10% off potions meant quite a bit to me based off of how much I spend. So, so yeah, I joined this guild. Hopefully they'll do well. Hopefully other guilds will do well. I know they're kind of top dogs, but it's not that far off from the Peak Monsters team. This thing is going to be close. They're missing 5 people and 2 guild levels. So once you get another 5 people, I mean, you could add another 20,000 here, and then those teams are pretty close. So I don't know. All these things are looking really healthy to me. Let's go look at the. Let's go look at. No, I don't want to look at my cards. I want to look at the market. So let's go do the beta summoners. I've paid some attention. Wow, that's crazy. Spirit of the Forest is back up to $12. Back when she first came out, like not the betas, but like the alphas were $20. So let's go see what the alphas are now. So 15, actually that's not bad pricing because you need fewer for these. So those alphas might comparatively look cheap, although there's not a lot of them there. So Crystal Humans got one that's pretty cheap, but then after that they go up. But that's I mean I'm stoked for that. To see these at 12, that's pretty good. That's a great price. I bought a lot of my cards at 12. Um, I don't know. Those are looking good. Selena Sky up at 9. Selena Sky Alpha up to $30. Again, like we saw a $30 or 20 or $30 Selena, but we didn't see it with Steam at 22 cents. I mean, this is pretty cheap. Or the Steam is pretty cheap. So to go see these card prices that high, that's fantastic to me. Um, I don't know. So I'm just trying to like tool around and get a gauge of how stuff is doing. So I've been recording 20 minutes. I don't know. Maybe let's go look at some of these gold foils too, because that's what I like tracking as well. Um, I don't know. So that man, some of these alphas are pretty expensive. So 300, 400, 600, 400, 300. So the gold foil alphas, I mean, I don't know how many they're selling, but at least people aren't just kind of capitulating and selling them all. For the betas, you can still get some decent deals. Actually, I got a alpha angel or a max beta angel of light. I saw a whole bunch of these at pretty cheap, so I went through and bought them. But you can get a max level gold foil card right now for 1, 2, 3, 330. Hopefully you can find one more. So like if you have one, you just buy these 3 real quick. You can go get your first max gold foil angel. Oh, and I remember one last thing that I wanted to talk about. Shit, you guys can't see this though. Give me a second. Let me go. How do I? I will just remove my webcam for a second. Okay, so here is I don't want the Splinterlands account. Actually, I can talk about Splinterlands for a second. So we're getting in Steam. We're getting in the SBD. Here's the history. So you're seeing on all these different transactions, we're getting Steam that's coming from Steam Monsters. Um, so these are when people are making sales and trades that money is going to these coffers, and these coffers are buying deck, and the deck is going to tournament rewards. But I also want to go show Smell because I started renting all my decks. I bought a lot of these cards, and I did it with the intention to to rent whole teams. I'm sitting on 7,751 deck, and here's where it's coming from. I made a whole bunch of Glitter Squad. Glitter, I just thought would be a good trolley name, right? Because I want you guys to be thinking like that you're getting trolled by it, right? You just lost to Glitter Patrol. How humiliating. So these are all the different glitter teams that I've created, and these are people that are using Herons, or I'm using Herons Unlimited by TC Polymath. But look, man, like this is just from yesterday. I mean, this is all these different transactions are people playing. I got some Silver Leagues, Glitter Pain, or some of these other ones are champion level decks. So it's a mix of what comes in every day, um, but every day stuff comes in, and the season end will be here, and more stuff will come in, and I'm interested to see just how high these decks can get. But you can see I keep getting paid, so it's to me it's pretty fun because I get to own the cards for the game that I created, but then I can rent the cards out to people, so I'm making money. So like I'm waiting for cards to go up in value, and that's fun. I'm making money, but I'm also kind of like employing people. I mean, it's a voluntary gig and you're playing a video game, but these are folks where it's entirely possible that, getting a couple hundred deck is an important amount of money to them. Not all of them, but um, anyways, that's meaningful to me. So that's kind of my state of Steam Monsters run through, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll come back and watch the next time too. All right, thanks guys.